Most people don't need more stretching. They need more strength, awareness and ownerships in the ranges they already have. So today I'll show you 3 mobility exercises that open up your hips while improving flexibility, coordination and active range of motion. If your goal is to move better in disciplines like acrobatics, parkour, dance, martial arts, or simply feel more capable in your body, you need to be able to actively use the range you create. So in this video, we'll start with simple variations and gradually build toward more challenging versions, so you can find an entry point regardless of your current level. And by the way, if you like a more structured approach to mobility and strength training, I've put together a free full body mobility and upper body strength plan. You'll find it in the description below. Now, let's get started. And like always, before going into training, we need to warm up the body. Yes, even for stretching and mobility, that is. Mobility is not something that you simply do lighthearted on the side. It takes focus and your body needs to be prepared. So simply follow the instructions in this video right here, or do anything else in order to get your blood flowing and your body ready to go into some deeper ranges. There's 2 ways you can go about the exercises in this video. The first one is pick out some of these exercises and do them every day or at least multiple days a week. This is not mobility training, this is maintenance. This is making sure your body works at a basic level. We can also call it soft mobility. But if you really want to improve your end range and really want to become flexible, you need to go the second line, which is take out about 2 or 3 exercises of this video and perform more repetitions and more sets, and also work on going deeper into your end ranges. Throughout this video, I'll explain the exact cues that you need to consider when going into the second path, the mobility path. For the very first task of this exercise, and one of the drills that I love most for my hips, especially working on opening up my hips, is the pancake good morning. In this one, I like to personally start in a wide stance. Now, how wide exactly you need to figure out over time. A simple rule of thumb is from a standing position, you can tilt your feet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and this might be a good starting position for you. Small adjustments need to be made over time. Now, one of the most important aspects for me in this exercise is maintaining a slight outwards push of my knees. It doesn't need to be maximal, but just enough so you're not tilting inwards while doing the exercise. This will still facilitate the open hip. Then from here, at first I like to bend my knees and be in an upright position. Now, I slowly squat down as much as I can. Already this could provide quite a bit of a stretch. I will then bow forwards, keeping my back as neutral as possible, and while doing so I will straighten my knees as much as I feel comfortable. And then I will come back up like I reverse the motion. Now, this exercise is a great warm-up task in order to already activate the inner thighs and already show the body, okay, a big stretch is coming here. Oh, and please remember to like this video and subscribe, leave a comment, all of that, show the video some love. When it comes to the full exercise, the active or standing pancake bend, what is one of the most important aspects is that you really just work from the hinge mechanic in your hip. Now, the hinge is really this aspect where you fold into the crease of your hip without rounding too much your spine. So this we can call spinal flexion, and this is the hip hinge. And the hip hinge is mainly the mechanic that we want to apply here in the active pancake bend. So when I stand upright, find my position, squeeze my knees outwards. Now I keep my legs much more extended, but even here at first, a slight bend can be helpful to get familiar with the position. In order to really understand this, I first propose to simply hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds. In this bottom position of the pancake bend, I try to avoid simply going down as far as I can, because this is mainly work of my spine. And remember, the muscles that we want to work are only activated by the hip hinge. So if I want to go further, it is not by simply bowing down in my spine, but by pulling it down. And I think the best way to do it is raise your elbows slightly and pull them diagonally forwards. This will then allow you to go deeper into the stretch, even with an active component. You're pulling yourself actively forward, actively deeper into the stretch. If you can, practice this next to a mirror so you really see what your spine is doing. It takes also a lot of control and awareness to not simply round from your spine.
Small details like how far back you want to lean or how far forwards you want to lean, how exactly you want to stand, and if your toes should face inwards or outwards are all experiments you can go through within the weeks, months and years of practicing this skill.
If you want to use this move as soft mobility, simply do a couple repetitions and don't go too deep. But if you hit 4 to 6 slow reps in 3 sets, you'll have a great mobility task. And let me tell you, this clip is from over 10 years ago. So yeah, I've been doing this move for a very long time. And it took me a while to get used to it and to already see the first improvements. So patience, as always, is what you need.
For our second exercise, and the one that opens up the anterior, meaning the front portion of the hip, we first need to warm up ourselves so that we don't overstrain us when going into the full move, the diagonal stretch. Now, for the warm-up portion, you simply want to start in a lunge position. How wide exactly it is depends a bit about your proportions and about your level of flexibility, but a good starting position is making sure that there is roughly a 90-degree angle in this knee and in this knee as well. Now from here, you want to bow down quite low so that your knee is hovering above the floor. Now from here, keep your hips square without opening them up, and then lean back slightly without just bending from the lower spine. It should be mainly the reverse hinge. That means the hip hinge that we did before, but now in a reverse manner. From here, twist yourself open slightly and lean towards the side. This should already give a very nice stretch in your psoas muscle, the hip flexor. And you want to simply hold this for about 10-15 seconds, then switching towards the other side, and go about this for about 2 or 3 reps in 2 or 3 sets.
And I cannot highlight it enough, if you're doing a mobility exercise like this one, do it right from the start. Don't just bend weirdly from your lower back. And if you can also try to tap the calf or your heel for extra mobility gains. This will open up your whole diagonal chain, spanning from the big toes of the hind leg all the way to the tips of the finger to the reaching arm. And again, really make sure to keep a nice and solid posture so you take everything out of this task.
When you want to progress towards the full diagonal stretch, I recommend to place the front leg in a slightly diagonal manner. This will give you a bit more stability. Now from here, your task is to bring your legs further apart, and then also to bring that front leg more and more into extension, meaning straightening it out. The further you go into extension and the wider you go, obviously the deeper the stretch will be and the more you should be prepared to do it. So take it easy and start working with slight bend in this front leg and just allow your stance to be a little bit wider. Again, leaning back without tilting too much in your spine. Keep this line of the stretch very nice and active, and try to use the whole frontal chain of your body in order to go back into the stretch. Touching your calf, and if you feel comfortable, working your way more and more towards touching your heel.
Just like the pancake bend in its final form, also the diagonal stretch takes a lot of time to really prepare for and get used to. So don't rush the process. Really take it easy and keep your front leg bent for as long as it takes. Only when you feel ready and the stretching sensation is okay, you can try to push deeper. Now what I'm showing here is something lovely to simply do in between to get a nice feeling for how deep you need to go. And again, if you want to do this task in a very slight manner, just repeat it for a couple of easy reps. But if you do 3 reps per side in 3 sets total, and hold it maybe even for 10 to 15 seconds in 3 sets, you'll have a great mobility routine to open up your hips.
For our third and final exercise, we now combine the ability to fold in our hips, creating space in our thighs, and at the same time opening our hips, so opening the front portion of the hips. It's again the wide stance, but a little bit wider than with the standing pancake bend. Maybe you can simply tilt your feet 1 and 2 times more. So from this wide stance, we want to drop down into a Cossack squat. And if this skill is a struggle for you, I've broken it down fully, so you can simply check this link up here and see the full tutorial. But for this video, what we want to focus on is keeping our main stretched leg as straight as possible. Again, a slight bend is allowed at first to ease into this task.
Now, because this is the last task of this video, we don't just want to open the insides of the legs, because we've already done so with the Cossack bands. So in this one, we'll add something else, which in the deepest position that you can go to, we want to rotate into a long lunging position, which again will tackle the anterior part of the hip. As you can see here, I'm even tapping my fingers to the floor in order to make sure I reach a lot of depth. Then there is a change from one side to the other, so I can repeat this task not only on one leg, but on both in the same set. And this is also what I would recommend. All of the specifics, if you want to have your feet slightly inwards, facing towards the ceiling, is everything you need to figure out with time.
The switch should be as slow and controlled as you can. This is where we build not only mobility, but athleticism, the strength and the ability coordination to switch easily from one to the other leg.
And again, repeating this movement for a couple easy reps during your day, even in a work break, is such a great way to work on soft mobility. But again, 5 reps per side in 2 or 3 sets after the other exercises makes a great mobility workout. And also here, this task is something I've been playing around with for well over 10 years and my hips love it. If you want a full structure, simply stop the video now, or even better, download the full mobility and strength training plan in the video description.
If you have tried the exercises now, you probably feel that your legs are already a little bit sore. If you're doing too many reps and too many sets, go too deep from the start, you will definitely feel it the next day, and it is not worth it. Long-lasting mobility training should be approached easily and carefully, like any other training. You also wouldn't go into strength training and directly put hundreds of kilos onto a bar in order to squat it. In the same way, you wouldn't just throw a backflip, you will, with baby steps, approach the skill. So with this mobility training as well, start slowly, and the first sessions are really just there to get used to all of these new stimuli. As soon as your body adapts and you get stronger and more mobile and more confident, you can push the repetitions and the sets further. And again, remember, at the end of the day, you can decide if you just want to use these tasks in an easy manner to warm up and work on your soft, gentle mobility day by day, or if you want to do it 3 or 4 times a week and really push your mobility gains. This is it for this video. I hope to catch you in the next one. Remember to subscribe, check out the next videos where I talk about everything hip mobility, and I see you in the next one. Happy practice.